Welcome back to the Dabbler's Domain, and we are back in the Lone Wolf series. We are going to restart it now, especially that I have the first 5 books all within my possession. We can just knock these out. I have done the first 3 on my own already, and I had another series where we were doing the first book. And we got through the first book here. We're going to restart it. We're going to do it again since it's been a hot minute. So this first book is Flight from the Dark. So get ready to hear me be unable to pronounce words. Above here we have the combat results table. We have our dice, our little 10-sided die right here, and this way on the far end we have our action chart and character sheet. So we are in book 1, and let's get started. We know pretty much how to start this out, but we will go through. And so, first steps we need to, we need to do our combat skill and our physical endurance. So, we will roll the dice and just get in here. Combat skill will add 10 to the number that our dice rolls. Let's get a decent number here, 6. Okay, so we have a combat skill of 16. So now endurance, same thing, except we add 20. 1. Alright, so we only have 21 endurance points to start it off with. That should be just fine. Alright. We kind of know how to play, so Kai Disciplines. So this is the first book, so we are able to choose 5 disciplines from the Kai disciplines, and we are, and if I believe correctly, so we have a choice of camouflage, hunting, sixth sense, tracking, healing, weapon skill, mind shield, mind blast, animal kingship, and mind over matter. I have in the past enjoyed hunting, because hunting, this skill ensures that the Kai Lord will never starve in the wild. They will always be able to hunt for food except in areas of wasteland and desert. This skill also enables the Kai Lord to be able to move swiftly in and stealthy. So, find a nice place for this. So yes, we will have hunting as our first one. We get 5 disciplines to start with. Healing, I have also enjoyed in the past. So healing, this discipline can be used to restore endurance points lost in combat. If you possess this skill, you may restore 1 endurance point to your total for every numbered section of the book you pass through which you are not involved in combat. This is only used after your endurance has fallen below its original level. Be sure to remember that your endurance score cannot rise above its original level. I mean, of course, I guess, unless we get something. So I have enjoyed healing. It allows me to be just a little bit more aggressive. And I think this playthrough, I'm going to be, as you'll see when it starts, I'll be a little bit more out for blood, if you will. Sixth sense and tracking, I've also enjoyed. Weapon skill has tended to be a book 2 gained, as well as like the mind stuff, like mind shield, mind blast. Animal kinship, I haven't necessarily played with too much. Also, I tend to, if given the option to use one of my skills, I tend to do it. So let's grab animal kinship. Let me read it here for you first. The skill enables the Kai to communicate with some animals and predict the behavior of others. In some cases, it can grant a Kai control over an animal's instincts or actions. If you choose this skill, write animal kinship in your action chart. There we go. Animal kinship. All right, 2 more left. Mind shield. Let me read that one here. Some of your enemies will have the ability to attack you using psychic force, i.e. the power of their mind. The Kai discipline of Mind Shield can protect you from losing any endurance points when subject to this form of attack. If you choose the skill, right, Mind Shield, no points lost when attacked by Mind Blast. I kind of like that, a little defensiveness. So let's, we have... Yeah, let's do Mind Shield. Last one, camouflage or tracking. I also enjoy Sixth Sense. It kind of allows us to, so Sixth Sense, this skill may warn the Kai Lord of imminent danger. It may also reveal the true purpose of a stranger or strange object encountered in the adventure. So yeah, so we'll do Sixth Sense. It's another one I am familiar with. And all that. Perfect. All right. Quickly moving on. Equipment. Your possessions comprise the axe with which you have been sent to fetch firewood. Note this weapon in your action chart. So we have down here our weapons. We have an axe, a green tunic, and cloak of the Kai Initiate. Oh, that's right. We are an initiate. So let us highlight. Enjoy red, yes. We are initiate. I think we should write it down here as well. Alright, you also have a backpack with 1 meal in it and a belt. In it, a belt and a leather pouch in which you keep your money. To find out how much money you have, pick a number. We'll roll the thing. The number you choose equals the gold crowns. Let's see. So we have 2 gold. And we have 1 meal. Well, this is meal, so we'll just say 1. No special items, no potions at the moment. Combat will get in when we do it. Yeah, so we begin our Lone Wolf adventures as an initiate. Alright, let's get started and have the words start failing my mouth as often as possible. The story so far. In the northern land of Summerland, it has for centuries been customary for parents to send their most gifted children to the monastery of the Kai on the occasion of their 7th birthday. There, they are taught the skills and martial disciplines of their noble ancestors. The Kai are masters of their art, and the children in their charge love and respect them in spite of the hardships of their training. For one day, when finally they have mastered the disciplines of the Kai, they will be able to return to their homes equipped in mind and body to defend themselves and their kin against the constant threat of war from the Dark Lords of the West. In olden times, during the Age of the Black Moon, the Dark Lords waged war on Summerland. The conflict was long and bitter trial of strength that ended in victory for the Summerlending at the Great Battle of Magagengorg. King Ulnar I, himself gifted with Kai powers, aided by the allies of Duranor, broke the Dark Land armies at the Pass of Moitra, and forced them back into the bottomless abyss of Magagengorg. Vashna, mightiest of the Dark Lords, was slain upon the sword of King Ulnar, called Summer Sword, the Sword of the Sun. Since that age, the Dark Lords have vouched vengeance upon Summerland and the House of Ulnar. Now, it is the morning of the feast day of Femar. It is the feast day of Femarn, the first day of spring. It is an old tradition of the Kai to gather at their monastery in the foothills of the Durncrag Mountains on Femarn. In order to reaffirm their fealty to the god Kai and to the Summerlending House of Ulnar, Kai journeymen and envoys have traveled far to return in time for the celebrations. marking the beginning of a new year in Summerland. You are a young Kai cadet called Silent Wolf. This is the name you were given by your Kai masters when first you entered the monastery. You are an initiate in this noble order, and this will be the 8th year you have taken part in the Fairmon ceremony. Your feelings of pride and excitement are the same now as they were when you first arrived here from your home village of the Daj, a little over half your short lifetime ago. The past few days have been an exciting time for you and your fellow cadets. The journeymen have been recounting their tales of battles won and the quests fulfilled in distant lands. On this fateful morning, you have been sent to collect firewood in the forest as a punishment for your inattention in class. As you are preparing to return, you see to your horror a vast black cloud of black, leathery creatures swoop out of the western skies and engulf the monastery. The Dark Lords, ancient enemy of the Summerlending, are attacking. War has begun. Dropping the wood, you race to the battle that has already begun. But in the unnatural dark, you stumble and strike your head on a low tree branch. As you lose consciousness, the last thing you see in the distant shadows is the walls of the monastery and its warning tower, the crystal beacon, crashing to the ground. Many hours pass before you awake. With tears in your eyes, you now survey the scene of destruction. Raising your face to the clear sky, you swear vengeance on the Dark Lords for the massacre of the Kai warriors. And with a sudden flash of realization, you know what you must do. You must set off on a perilous journey to the capital city to warn the king of the terrible threat that now faces his people. For you are now the last of the Kai. You are now Lone Wolf. And so, we begin. You must make haste, for you sense it is not safe to linger by the smoking remains of the ruined monastery. The black-winged beast could return at any moment. You must set out for the Summerlending capital of Holmgard and tell the king the terrible news of the massacre. That the whole of the Kai, save yourself, have been slaughtered. Without the Kai lords to lead the regiments of the Summerlending armies, Summerland will be at the mercy of the ancient enemy, the Dark Lords. Fighting back tears, you bid farewell to your dead kin, your fellow initiates Rain, Dove, Steel Sky, and Snow Falcon. For your own tutor, Master Starfire, the leader of your order, Grand Master Brave Blade, and so many others. Silently, you promise that their deaths will be avenged. You turn away from the ruins and carefully descend the steep track. At the foot of the path splits into two directions, both leading into a large wood. If you possess the Kai discipline of Sixth Sense and wish to use it, turn to 141. If you do not possess this discipline, or if you choose not to use it, you may follow the right path into the wood, turn 285. If you wish to take the left track instead, turn to 275. So we have Sixth Sense, so we are going to use it. 141. Your Kai Sixth Sense warns you that some of the Kran and Geiks that attack the monastery are now searching the two forest paths, looking for anyone who may have survived their attack. Now, you are aware of the danger. Make your decision which way to go. If you want to go along the left fork of the forest track, under the cover of the surrounding trees, turn to 56. If you would prefer to cut through the heavier foliage towards the northeast, turn to 333. Let's go left under the trees. You hear the sudden shriek of a Kran high above the trees. The ghastly sound sends shivers coursing down your spine. Quickly you take cover along the thick fronds of fern at the side of the track until the horrible shrieks of the creature have passed away. Now turn to 220. 2. As you go on, you discover a forest path that divides at the point you join it. A glint of metal in the tall grass catches your attention. There, lying discarded in the overgrowth, is a battered but still serviceable helmet. If you wish to take it, this helmet is a special item, worn on your head, that adds 2 endurance points to your total. Now, if you wish... okay, let's stop there. Add the helmet and the 2 endurance points. So, description we have. Let's go like this. We have a helmet that gives +2 endurance. Well, can we go like that? That way we can kind of keep them separated. So we get +2 endurance points. So so let's write up in this corner 21. That way I just know what our base one is, because I'm just going to do that. And yeah, so now we have +2 endurance points, because we are wearing the helmet. And we haven't been in combat yet, so no need to heal ourselves. Okay, so if we wish to use our Kai discipline of tracking, turn to 67. I did not take tracking this time, which I used to. If we wish to take the South Fork, turn to 140. Or if we wish to take the East Fork, turn to 252. It's a shot in the dark. It's a 50-50 shot, so let's roll the die. 1 through 5 we go south. 6 through 10 we go east. 2, we go south. Turn to 140. 140. Soon you find yourself in a man-made clearing, where several trees have been cut down and used to make a rickety watchtower. Below this makeshift tower, there are 3 narrow trails, each leading off in different directions. If you wish to climb the watchtower, turn to 36. If you would rather take the south trail, turn to 14. If you choose to travel the east trail, turn to 252. Or if you prefer to leave by the third trail, which heads off to the southwest, turn to 215. Let's climb the watchtower, see if we can get a idea of our surroundings. So, 36. The old watchtower ladder is rotten and several rungs break as you climb up. Pick a number from the random number table. Roll our dice. 2. If the number is 4 or lower, you have fallen. Lose 2 endurance points and turn to 140. Soon you find yourself in a man-made clearing. Okay, so we said that. So, do we want to try to reclimb the watchtower? I think we will. So we're going to go back to 36 and we're going to try to reclimb it. Let's hope for a number above 5. There we go. Awesome. The number is 5 or higher. I do not fall this time. I also survived a passage. Alright, so 323. I think that sounds okay, right? So we failed to climb the tower. We lost it. We went back. Had to make a choice, right? We're going to try to climb the tower again. We did survive that time. And we're okay. Alright, so 323. From the top of the tower, you can see above the trees in all directions. Far to the north, a column of jet black smoke rises high into the sky. Small, orange tongues of flame flicker at its base. Your heart sinks as you realize that the port of Toron is ablaze. From the southwest, the wind carries the noise of battle. It is close, no more than 5 miles at most. On the floor of the watchtower is a large oblong box. If you wish to open this box, turn to 290. If you would prefer to descend the ladder and leave the tower, taking care to use only good rungs, turn to 140. Okay, so this is gonna, so 140 will put us back and be able to select the things. So we can see in the north, I'm gonna make a couple notes here. So north, oh, that's right. Okay, so north is the port, which is ablaze, and the southwest has a battle at it. It is close, no more than 5 miles at most. So I guess the question is, when we go back to 140, do we want to head towards the battle or maybe explore a little bit more? As for the first one, I do want to open the box, so we will be turning to 290. Inside the long box is a quarterstaff wrapped in leather, made from yellowed summer-lending oak. This excellent weapon is both stout and strong. You may take this weapon if you wish, though you must leave one weapon behind if you already have 2. If you wield this weapon in battle, you may add +1 to your combat skill. You close the box and descend the ladder to the clearing below, taking care only to use the sound rungs. Okay, fantastic. Well, I want to, so right. We're gonna make the axe our secondary weapon, and we will be equipping the quarterstaff? Yes, I also spelled that wrong. Quarter staff, which will add +1 to our combat skill, which is fantastic. I'm going to actually 16 +1, or actually let's do 17, 16 in parentheses, due to the quarterstaff. So let's actually write +1 combat skill down there. So yeah, okay, perfect. And we survived another section. We were back up to full health again. That's the hardest thing for me with healing, is remembering to update the endurance points. Okay, so now we go back to 140. So we can now decide if we rather take the south trail, or we could take the east trail, or we can go southwest to 215. Now southwest was the battle, so let's not go directly into battle. I know I said I was going to play this as a thirst for vengeance, but now that we're actually here, let's explore a little bit. So south to 14, east to 252. So we're going to do another 50-50 here. So 1 to 5 south, 6 to 10 east. 6, we will go east. So turn to 252. In the center of a small clearing, you see a group of humans talking exceedingly and gesturing wildly with their hands. There are 2 children, 3 men, and a woman. Their belongings are wrapped in bundles which they carry slung over their shoulders. Their clothes look well made and expensive, but they are dirty and torn. If you wish to approach them and ask who they are, turn to 155. If you wish to avoid them and continue onward on your mission, turn to 70. We cannot. We should. We're gonna help the people, or at least talk to them, right? We're gonna go. 155. At your approach, the group of people stops talking. You can see their expressions that they recognize your green Kai cloak. Slowly, one of the men extends his hand in friendship and says, "My liege, we saw smoke at the foothills of the Derncrags, and feared for the safety of your monastery. We heard rumors that the vast horde of the enemy from the west had descended upon the Kai, and that none of your order have been allowed to escape. But clearly this is not so. May Ashir and Kai be praised. We fear all was lost." You do not tell them of the destruction of the monastery and the massacre of your comrades. These people are refugees from Turan and have lost everything they owned. Their only hope now is that the Kai will lead the Summerlending army to victory over the invaders. You learn from them that the northern port of Turan was attacked from both the air and from the sea, and that the forces of the Dark Lords far outnumbered the king's brave garrison there. Even the Magicians' Guild of Turan was unable to repel the enemy that was led by a hunchbacked sorcerer wielding tremendous power. You reassure them that the Summerland will not fall to the Dark Lords and their fell minions, and you wish them luck on their difficult journey ahead. Turn to 70. You come to a small bridge. The water passing beneath this bridge is deep and clear. A stony track runs along the bank of the stream and disappears into pine trees away to the east, while a narrow dirt path heads off into thick woodland to the south. If you wish to use the Kai discipline of Sixth Sense, turn to 8. If you do not possess the skill or do not wish to use it, you can go east by turning to 28, or if you rather go south, turn to 157. My friends, I am going to do my best to keep these to about 20 to 30 minutes, depending. And looking at my counter right now, we're around 31. Maybe with some editing, I can take it down a little bit longer. So until next week, we leave you here for the Lone Wolf Flight from the Dark. Book 1. We are off and running. So to all my dominant dabblers who have stuck around to the end, thank you. Until next time, we'll see you soon.